Welcome back. The Mass Transportation Authority, or MTA, is preparing to cut the ribbon on their new Michael J. Zelley Training and Development Center on Dordt Highway in Lapeer in the city of Flint. And we're happy this afternoon to have Ed Benning, MTA General Manager and CEO, and Luke Zelley, MTA Board Chair, President of the Disability Network, and also the son of the honoree. So thank you both for joining us here this afternoon.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ed, let's start with you. Let's first just talk about the training center and what this center will provide for the community.
You know, we're extremely excited about the center. What it's going to mean to the community is all of the employees, we have 691 today, will be able to utilize that center for training, retraining, recertification, but also new hires, also programs where we'll be able to bring in interns and other individuals from the community to use many of the resources that we'll have in that training center. And in addition, something that we think is really going to be beneficial is to bring in individuals throughout the state that can come in and go back to their properties and talk about ADA and, you know, the Americans with Disability Act and many of the other things that go along with training. And so it's going to be a great center, answer many opportunities, and it's going to be dedicated to an individual that meant so much to this community.
And let's talk about that. Let's transition right into that, Mr. Benning. Why Mr. Zelley? Why did you decide that this was a fitting honor for Mr. Zelley?
Well, if we go back into the 90s, you know, and I've been at the MTA for a few years, so I remember back in a few. So I remember at the meeting Michael at some meetings for the Center for Independence, and I know that he talked about how important the Center for Independence, but he also felt there was a even greater need. And so from then he founded the Disability Network, and that was probably the very first work that we did together. Sometimes it was answering complaints, sometimes it was figuring out new services, but much of it had to do with training. We talked, every time I talked with Michael, he would say, we really need to get people trained and we need to work on training. And we worked together on a number of events where we were trying to appeal to employers to make sure that they would reach out and employ those persons that are affected with disabilities. And so with that great background and the great leader that Mike was, he served on our board, we felt it was very fitting to name this facility after him. It will have a great emphasis on ADA, special needs in our community, whether that's seniors, veterans, persons with disabilities, and all those that come there for training.
And Luke, you're sitting here beaming with pride. He's talking about your dad. So tell us a little bit about your dad, Michael. I'm sure the family is very proud that his, this center will bear his name.
Yeah, it's an incredible honor. The folks that knew my dad, he served 2 United States presidents, 4 Michigan governors, and his passion and purpose every day was independence, and especially for folks with disabilities. And at the core of that, public transportation, being able to get around in the community, participate, go to appointments, jobs, and with his leadership and Ed's, the boards, especially the frontline staff at MTA, when we have a transportation system that we're all proud of, with the rides to wellness and veterans and seniors, and this training center really embodies that, the independence, kind of training people in an accessible way for jobs and for future jobs.
Yeah. So a great honor for your family and for your dad. Tell us about tomorrow. Tomorrow is the big grand opening of the center. Tell us when and where that'll take place and if the community is invited.
Absolutely. It takes place tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and the community is invited. It will be held at our training center on Lapeer Road, right off corner of Lapeer and Dordt. It'll be easy to find because there's a sign right in front of it. It's the J. Michael Zelley Training and Development Center, easy to find. And we're going to have a ceremony there to actually a ribbon cutting for the building, and also have an opportunity to talk a little bit about Michael. And one thing I always remember about him, one motto he had, is that nothing about us without us. That always stuck with me. Because to him, what that meant is we're going to be at the table And I witnessed that, and I witnessed it in many different facets. And so we not only had that relationship as him as a board member, a friend, a community friend, but as leaders in the community working together in that partnership. But it always stuck with me. Nothing about us without us.
Nothing about us without us.
Without us. That's right.
Mr. Benning and Mr. Zelley, thanks so much for coming in on First at 4, sharing a little bit about your dad, and of course sharing the information about
Thank
the
you.
new center that you'll cut the ribbon on tomorrow.
Yes, thank
All
you.
right, thanks
Thank you
so
for
much.
having us. Thank
Yes.
you.